Okay, the other day I made a video of me trimming the table in on the drill press. This table was on there, I trimmed here, and it wasn't real easy to see the indicator, so I decided later that wasn't the best way. I should probably trim the table in first. I took this off, and so I'll run that video now. First thing I'm going to do before I use this table is I'm going to trim the head. This is a device you use for trimming Bridgeports and stuff. Just clamps onto the chuck. I've got the belts off so that I can turn the wheel from up here. Okay, so the indicator drops off. 50's the I guess I could swing it around. It's okay where it is. Okay, so 50's off the table, comes up to 80, no, 60 when it touches the table there, and bring it around, and 60 on that side. And I'm going to have to see if you can see that. I think you can. Oh, let me focus it in. Okay, so I'm going to trim the table. I'll start on this side. When the indicator falls off, it's at 50. When it goes up on the table, it's at 60. And now bring it around this side, and I get the same thing, 60. Now as I come around the table, it falls off here. And it's off a good bit. But the only way for me to fix that is to shim the front. Let's get an idea of how much I got to shim it. Okay, I can lower this down until it just touches. Okay, is that touching? Yeah. So it's about 52. That's 10. That's almost, that is 20. Wow. 27. Okay. Okay, there it went up to 55. 70. 76 or 77. So I've got about 25 thousandths wall side, but I can't get to that. These are pretty much flush here. So if I just take the center punch, dead between the line where they meet. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. I got a nice mark now that I know where it's going to be right. So then I went ahead and I trimmed in the table, and this time I mounted the phone on there so you can watch the indicator better as I spin it around and get an idea of what it looked like. Let's see if you're still running. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to try to trim it again. I've set it at 30 in the back, 29. You can see for yourself. And now I'm going to bring it to the right side. Okay, that's 90 degrees on the right side, and we're at 15. As we come towards the front, it's just barely picking up. So we know we're 30 thousandths out or so, front to back. Now left to right, alright, that's dead on to the left side. Looks like around 12 or 13. And that's dead on to the right side, and looks like maybe 14. So it's trimmed left to right, but the front's low. So I have to figure out what to do about that. Okay, I think this idea took the glare off of the off of the thing. Okay, so I'm going to put a set of stops on this. So let me get you in closer where you can see it really good. Alright, so what I'm making is a set of stops. Let's put on here. What I'm going to do is get new set screws and nuts. And I made this bar to mount on the screws. It can either go on these two or on these two over here. Okay, so that'll go on there. And then I'll tighten the nuts down. Put one on it now. I got one off the other side here. So, and then this is going to go on top. It's just a piece of stock with a slot cut in it, a 1/8 inch slot. And that'll go on there. And this can slide back and forth. It's a little tight right now. It's all because it's all new and fresh machine. And I think my end mill was wore out a little bit on the end because it doesn't go all the way down. It's about a 30-second up. So then this will get a small pin, about a 1/4 inch, 5/16. That'll stick up right there. Okay, like that. And then I got this slide here that slides in the groove. You can see it's pretty equal here, but when you put it up here, boy, it bangs around like a BB in a boxcar. I think that's rough casting up there. I don't think it cleaned up all the way. Oh no, it's not bad. It's got maybe 10,000s, 5,000s at some spot. Like here's probably about 5. Anyway, this was going to get screwed and bolted on there, and then that'll hit that pin. I'll put the pin back in. No. Okay. And then this will come down and hit the pin. Okay, so if you wanted to drill, let's say you wanted to make 2 holes 1 inch apart, you would just take and drill your first, lock your table down, drill your hole with the first hole, and then bring this over and put a spacer in between here, 1 inch. Lock this down. Lock this down, and then just crank your table up against that pin, gently up against that pin, and you would have a 1 inch space for your hole. What I usually use is for that is adjustable parallels. And parallels, as you slide them, this distance will get shorter and shorter. So you set them to whatever size you want with your micrometers, and then I could set that in there and use that as a gauge for setting spaces. There's other ways too. I could put a screw on there and go number of turns. I could probably clamp my 6-inch calipers to there, digital calipers to there. But this is the way I like. I don't really want to buy a digital one for it, a glass one. What do you call that? A DRO. I don't really want to do that. So anyway, I've got all the milling done. Get this groove cut out to fit the groove real good. I got this, so now I got to set up and do some drilling. I got to drill a hole here, put the pin in it, 2 screws into there, probably 632. And what I'm hoping is to get 2 of them in here, and then be able to flip it over. 2 more holes in there. We'll see how that goes. That way I can work from either side. If my project is on this side of the table, I can go over there. Now that's going to be for the Y, or the X-axis. The Y-axis, I'm just going to bolt a piece of angle iron down and put my stop in here. Let it hit up against here, and that'll probably be one that cranks, and maybe I'll cut a special rod with a 40 thread so I can, just like a micrometer, 1 revolution, that would be 25 thousandths. But anyway, I'm going to work on this one first. So I got to do my drilling now. Anyway, I really like this table. Everything's working out good. I had to take a little slack out of this bearing, And this the Y handle wouldn't go on. I got some pictures and things. The keyway was off. As it was cut back, it was ramped up. It was on an angle. So you could put the handle on and start the key, but the key would only go in about 1/8 of an inch. So you couldn't get the nut on it. So I just took the shaft out, put it up in the mill on the lathe, and recut the keyway. So now that works fine. This works fine. All I gotta do is get my stops made and a couple more clamps made. Thinking about using a railroad spike as a clamp. Cut a hole in it, put a few holes in there, cut a slot in there, and maybe flatten off on here a little bit. Flatten this off a little bit, and cut it off, make a step on it, and use that for a clamp. It'll be different. Anyway, I'm still working on it, and it's coming along pretty good. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.